welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Silicon Valley. And with the foghorn sounding behind us, that can only mean one thing, and that is it's time for football at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Today we've got an NFC matchup on tap, as it'll be the Washington Commanders taking on the San Francisco 49ers.
Please welcome your 2026 San Francisco 49ers.
Two teams more than ready to get this one started. And we are underway from Santa Clara. And he won't quite make it to the 25. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And a look here now at their fourth-year quarterback.
This guy's leadership is so important to how this offense functions. He doesn't shrink from any moments on game day, and everything he does with confidence. He sets the example in practice, off the field, and is the guy leading everyone out for each possession.
First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there. Second down.
He's tackled at the 29.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
We'll get this out right here to McCaffrey. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
First and 10 at the 45-yard line.
A little tough on the secondary there. In zone defensively. Quarterback had time to survey and find a spot.
And if you want to change things up and put a little more pressure on him, you can go to man coverage. Everyone matches up and send more pressure. But you can also do it out of zone coverage if you're worried about what's going to happen on your back end. Send someone else, drop someone else out of the line. The old zone blitz could come into play to try and get that pressure on the quarterback.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on third down to keep the drive going. Purdy looking to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a 49ers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. We got to like what you're seeing from this offense here on the first drive. A nice, sustained series to begin the game, and it will continue after picking up another first there.
Would you say the word methodical comes to mind? I love the execution. I love what they're doing on this drive. They're controlling the ball, controlling the game, controlling the clock.
And not much running room. Down to the 32. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Purdy will set up to throw it here. It's caught by Mike Evans. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 19. 14 yards that time for number 14.
First down. First and 10 at the 19-yard line.
Really a solid start here on the opening drive, Charles. He's now 4 of 4, and they're already in plus territory.
Brandon, he's been so precise to start this game, like we're watching an operation taking place right now. Master surgeon at work.
And they're not going to get this one off in time. It'll be a delay.
Delay of game, offense.
That flag, that'll push him back 5.
Still first down.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. Shotgun now with Purdy. A throw left side for Pearsall is complete. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that will bring up second down.
A gain of 7. It's 2nd and 8 at the 17-yard line.
Back to throw, Purdy. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
Calling a gain of 3 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
The kick by Pinheiro is good, and the 49ers take a 3-0 lead. Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just 3 points, but 4 first downs were in there.
Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, this should continue throughout this ball game. On the flip side, if you're a defender, it's almost like, whew, we only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty well.
After the field goal, on to kick it away is Pinheiro. Fighting his way through contact. And able to get this out to the 25. So here are the Commanders making their way out. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
His ability to adjust on the fly is almost unmatched in the game right now because it leads to a couple of snaps per game where you just sit back and ask yourself, how did he pull that off? Opponents can practice and prepare each and every week all they want, but this guy, he is hard to corral.
Looking to put a drive together. A first carry for Rachaad White. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Here's Daniels. Here's White. They set up the screen. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. And that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there because trying is one thing. We can second guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage. That pattern and scheme was well defensed on third down. He tried to just sprint from one side of the field to the other, and they got it to him quickly. But no chance at yards after the catch there, and they stop him short.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. Play action. Now Purdy. Pass caught by Pearsall. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
And the 49er first down. 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Purdy. Now he'll tuck this and run. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
At the 48-yard line.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a hole. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Purdy now to throw. Got a man right side. It's McCaffrey. That'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
Yeah, and on 3rd down, you know those pass rushers, they're in the starter's block. They're just waiting for the pistol to fire. You can almost hear the defensive coaches on the sideline pre-snap. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Really good job there of identifying it and making the play to force 4th down.
The Waitman now to punt as he sends this one away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. The Commander's going to retake the field for drive number 2. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Got a man. It's De'Ami Brown complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
First down.
Yeah, that's a good start to drive number 2. Remember, they had to punt the first time they had it. So maybe a little bit different sense of purpose here. And they start out with a nice gain and a quick 1st down.
Throwing now is Daniels. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. Another 1st down, this time on a gain of 19.
That's another Washington 1st down.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere. And they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well. And that's what they just did on that play.
He'll get that out to the flat to White. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Well, so far, little to no resistance by the defense on this drive alone. 3 passes, 3 completions, 3 1st downs. They're taking it to them, and it's paying off.
Here's a quick throw out wide. It's McLaurin. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that'll bring up second down. There it is, the defense waking up after 3 plays that hurt them. Finally, they stand up.
They have a little pride, too, you know. 3 straight first down type plays. Yeah, they wanted to make one stick on their side, didn't they?
Now Daniels. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Washington with the football here to begin quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. And they'll send the slot in motion left. Daniels from the gun on 3rd down. Touchdown! De'Ami Brown, a 20-yard touchdown. And Washington has taken the lead. A nice connection there, finding its target, and that'll put 6 up on the board.
Just like they drew it up in their playbook and reiterated it on the sidelines, right? Perfect route, a good throw, and the defense, they had no answer for that right there.
Point after try forthcoming. And this is up and good to make it 7-3.
Makes the score.
That drive goes 80 yards in 6 plays. And it's De'Ami Brown who finishes things off with a touchdown reception. Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. San Francisco set to go on offense once more. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Purdy going to lead the 49ers to the line, 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down.
And the 49er first down. 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
McCaffrey running up the middle to the 43, 2nd down.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
From the 43, here's a 2nd and 8. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And this one not going anywhere. They get him at the 44 for a gain of just a yard.
At the 44-yard line. A 1-yard gain brings up 3rd and 6.
Washington on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down.
43-yard line.
Purdy off the play fake. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And it's second down.
Now that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, on maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on first down. They're ahead of the chains now.
Back to the ground attack here. It's McCaffrey. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Here's Purdy. Connects with Kittle underneath. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 21. That good for 19 yards as they pick up the conversion on third.
First and 10 at the 21-yard line.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
No gain on the play.
And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
And that one going to be off target and incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. So 2 third down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a third, and now they deal with fourth down.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
37-yard attempt.
This is up and good from Pinheiro. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So the margin shrinks a bit as back-to-back drives here for them in with field goals.
Yeah, we know no one's turning down 3, especially in the first half, but you've got to finish these drives in the end zone. That's got to be a priority. Nice to have a reliable kicker, but outside of his agent, you know you'd rather him kick 1-pointers instead of 3-pointers.
After the field goal, on to kick it away is Pinheiro. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And this is going to be a Commander's first down as the tackle made here at the 36.
13 yards on the play. And the Washington first down. A gain of 13 yards.
Well, CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react. So many times we've seen him try to escape the pocket and do something with his legs, but in this case, the pressure was too intense and he made the wise choice to just get rid of the football and make sure no one was going to get it.
Here's 2nd and 10. Daniels looking to throw. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. And we'll pause here for an injury. I believe that's a running back. Yeah, that's Rashad White, who's shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. To throw is Daniels. And that is incomplete. Oh, he did everything but hold on to it. But a nice play defensively, and now it brings up 4th down.
Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. And looking up into the sun, he's able to make the fair catch inside the 20-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Purdy going to lead the 49ers to the line. 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. And he'll start by handing this off to McCaffrey. And a good job of just fighting through one tackle there to pick up about 3. 2nd down coming up.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a 1st down, 49ers.
1st down.
Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
And he's going to have the Niners 1st down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line.
10 more yards. That's another 49er 1st down. 1st and 10.
Well, if they continue to run the football this strong, right up the middle, I don't know if they can wait till halftime to make adjustments. They better find a way to get it done series to series. I don't know if they need to sub some guys out, bring in extra people, maybe change what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball. But right now, they're running the ball very well right out them and right up the middle.
Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
McCaffrey on the counter. And some space here. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 64 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
That's another 49er 1st down.
They've done a pretty good job containing him up until this drive, and until that run, there was no containing him at all.
Yeah, you're right about that. He finally popped free. But we didn't have to be in their practice sessions. We didn't have to be in their meeting rooms. They planned for a run like that to happen, maybe a couple of them. But what did they tell their guys all week? You know what they said. Move on to the next play. That one just happened. Let it go.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
It's 2nd and 8 at the Commanders' 25-yard line.
And throwing here, Purdy. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
As soon as he leaked out and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
A 3rd field goal of the 1st half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. Purdy from the gun. He's got his target. That's It's complete. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Not quite enough to get into the end zone, but what a nice play there. He makes the catch, tries to turn upfield and get to the pylon, but doesn't quite get there. But they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal from very short range.
McCaffrey will get into the end zone for a 49er touchdown. Well, nothing fancy there, Charles. You had 3 tight ends on the field. They were going to run the football. The defense knew it, but the defense couldn't stop them.
And I haven't met an offensive line yet that doesn't get more satisfaction out of running the football into the end zone than pass protecting. They had determination on their side, and they got it done.
Eddie Pinheiro now for the extra point. And he puts this one through as the lead moves to 13-7.
Makes the score Niners.
A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And the last play on the drive, the touchdown run from Christian McCaffrey. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And here we go on the next drive for Washington. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
The drive starts with a run by White. And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. Brown goes in motion left. The handoff to Ford up the middle. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, the offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And it'll be 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on third down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
Tress Way on 4th down is sent out to punt. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Kirk now, the return man. 47-yard punt, a return of 4. And that will come the offense as they take over. Christian McCaffrey and his 49er teammates back onto the field. 5 carries on the previous series, and the 5th one, the 1-yard punch into the end zone.
Yeah, he showed the muscle, didn't he? He showed that getting into the end zone. You know what I think he'd like on this next series?
Another one?
Another 5 or more carries like that. Continue to chew things up, but I bet he'd like a nice long run into the end zone to show off the rest of his talents.
Yeah, I'd like that. I also like, by the way, when you're demonstrating things like you were saying, he showed off the muscle. You're actually up here flexing.
Yeah, I was flexing. I'm just glad that people can't see that there's not much flex there.
And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it'll be 2nd down. I know when you got a top tight end like this, you want to get him involved, but when you do, you're hoping for more than that.
You certainly are. You've got to try and get him some space where he can make a play downfield or at least an opportunity for some rack yardage, right, that run after catch.
He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey. They'll give him 4 yards there, and this will wind up being a 3rd and 3.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Niners first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they've got to do a much better job of accounting for these shorter routes.
McCaffrey on the toss right. Trying to get out wide, but he's going to be tackled right near the line of scrimmage. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Purdy looking to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Give them 5 on the screen play, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
The key to any screen play is all in the deception. That means everyone on the offensive side of the ball, but someone gave it up because that one wasn't very well concealed. And the defense able to rally to him and hold him for just a short gain.
Purdy will set up to throw it here. Pass taken in by his big tight end. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Now Purdy. Room to maneuver at the 35. And finally brought down at the 31-yard line. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll bring up a 2nd and short. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout called. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. So halftime here out west. Let's go east. That's where we find Scott Hansen with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome in, everyone, to the Orlando studios. Scott Hansen with you for a quick halftime report. We'll let both sides catch their breath and get their orange wedges as we're going to get ready for the third quarter action. So let's go back out to the stadium as we rejoin our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Scott, thank you very much. We are ready to get started here with the second half. Washington down on the scoreboard, but they are getting the football first here, and we are back underway on EA Sports. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Washington offense ready to go to begin the third quarter. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
From the shotgun, it's Daniels. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
Second and 10. Here's Daniels. Now loose football. The ball comes out. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And they will finally run him down, but not until he brings us all the way back down inside the 10-yard line. So it's kind of more of the same offensively. This was a team needing to come out of this third quarter with a little fire. Instead, they put the ball on the ground.
And you know that has to be the discussion at halftime because they're down 2 scores. We got to come out with a little bit more urgency than we had in the first half. Now that urgency falls on their defense because they can't fall down 3 scores and hope to come back and win this game.
Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. And they start in the best of all positions, first and goal. The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? First and goal. They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on second and goal here. They'll get this to McCaffrey out of the backfield. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Christian McCaffrey. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Niners are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
And that's a drive that makes everyone happy on that bench because they accomplish exactly what they set out to do. Take care of the football, eat up a little clock, end up in the end zone. Now they've got a cushion for the rest of the game. So they didn't just help themselves offensively, they helped their defense out as well.
And now this is right in Kyle Shanahan's wheelhouse. He'll go for 2 here.
The 49ers will line up for the 2-point conversion.
They'll give it to the fullback up the middle.
The 2-point conversion is no good.
An unsuccessful attempt at the 2-point conversion. And it was a triple option play, and they chose option 1, handing it to the fullback. And that's not normal.
And sometimes you just miss your read key, right?
Yeah, I think so. And sometimes they actually call that, thinking that maybe everyone will bypass the fullback going out to the tailback or the quarterback. But in this case, they overwhelmed him and stopped him.
Now
after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Commanders preparing for their next possession. Right now, they're in a bit of a tough spot here, CD. You're trailing by double digits. Remember the last time out, they fumbled. They're going to have to play some clean football here on this possession.
And all the talk on their sideline has been about taking care of the football, making sure that they're handling the ball correctly. So you know they'll be squeezing the rock pretty tight here. They just have to be careful not to go so hard in doing that they actually cause themselves other problems. Take care of the ball, but still try and play free and natural.
They'll start out here with the option left. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 at the 28-yard line.
Now it's 2nd and 10. They'll bring the tight end in motion right. They just do get the play off as he'll look to throw. Cockrell holds it in left side. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for them. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. On the return is Kirk. They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7. And they will take over 1st and 10. The 49ers offense had Brock Purdy getting ready for this next possession. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him. And he'll look to keep it rolling right here. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Here's 2nd and 7. Up the gut, McCaffrey. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down and
This defense
7.
could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
Purdy from the gun on 3rd down. Delivering a pass here to Evans on the out route. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
They bring pressure there on 3rd down, but this is a nice job of picking it up and making sure their guy has time to deliver the football. And they wind up getting the 1st down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Play action, and now here's Purdy to throw it. That is caught. Downfield is Pearsall. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
That's another 49ers 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
He had to fight that time. Ran through one tackle, but ultimately he's only going to get back to the line of scrimmage. Those are the plays this defense needs with the deficit they're facing.
It certainly is, and they've got to continue to swarm the football and hope that someone, while they're holding up the ball carrier, can get in there and rake it and lock it free. They need to get some takeaways as well.
Another run with McCaffrey on 2nd down. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. Purdy now to throw. Connects with Kittle underneath. Calling a gain of 6 on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half.
All right, let's give the kicker some credit here because he didn't let the inaccurate snap phase him whatsoever. Trusted his holder to get the ball down in time, stuck to his routine, and somehow found a way to put the ball through the uprights.
After the field goal, on to kick it away is Pinheiro. Well, a dangerous return man showing it here. And they're going to have terrific field position as they finally get to him, but just shy of the midfield stripe. Well, another drive coming up for this Washington offense. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
In motion left comes Brown. To the air goes Daniels. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Now they go screen. It's complete. And good sideline-to-sideline tackling there as they're going to get him down a couple yards short of the first. And they'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
And I believe that gain on 3rd and long changes things quite a bit because this would be a very long field goal. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go for it here.
Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did.
Washington goes for it, but it does not pan out.
And it'll be a turnover on downs. Even though they didn't get it, probably the right call. Too long for a field goal and just not a whole lot to gain from a punt there.
Yeah, you wouldn't have really netted very much yardage if you punt the ball, right? And the thing about a field goal, and you know this from so much experience, the longer the field goal, the lower it comes out off the kick, right? Which means it's got a better chance of being blocked. So you're taking a chance either way. I like the fact they went for it.
Good starting field position for the 49ers as they have it 1st and 10 at their own 42.
They go play action here. Purdy
gets this one to use check.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
This is 2nd and 8.
This is McCaffrey on the give.
And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line.
a gain of
75 yards for him on the ground now on that, his 20th carry of the ball game.
When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
2nd and 9 from the 44. Now Evans in motion left. Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and now off play action, it's Purdy. Down inside the 10. And he gets it all the way down to the 3. A big play there for the Niners. 41 yards.
First down. First and goal at the 3-yard line.
Another big play right there, and this is where, as an offense, you can really put the hammer down. You've got a double-digit lead, but those other guys, they've been hanging around. A touchdown here could put this game out of reach, and that's a strong step towards getting it done.
On the ground, McCaffrey. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
And now defensively, you have to look at this like the game's on the line. It's just the 3rd quarter, but another touchdown given up here could really spell an end to their chances, so they need to toughen up and keep them out of the end zone.
Again, McCaffrey. And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. Christian McCaffrey taking it in from 4 yards out. And the 49ers are able to widen their advantage.
Well, this offensive line has really stepped up to the challenge here because those Mastodons, they've been sensational clearing holes all game long. And this is great work down here near the goal line to get their back to work his way into the end zone.
Pinheiro now to add the extra point. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. A drive that time of 6 plays. And the last play on the drive, the touchdown run from Christian McCaffrey. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. The Washington offense set to take over. And a drive that stalled out last time. Went for it on 4th. Didn't get it. How does that translate here? I would imagine momentum's with the defense.
Definitely with the defense, because anytime anyone goes for it on 4th down, that's telling you as a defense that you can't stop us. We don't think that you can. And when you actually do, that may put a little dent in the confidence of the offense the next time they hit the field.
Yeah, we'll see if they can bring that pride to the offense this go around. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Whenever I see an in-route dropped, as we just saw in that play, I'm always thinking that in the back of their mind, they're worried about what's coming at them because they're going towards traffic on that route as opposed to being away from it and maybe having a little bit more space.
Now Daniels. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Michael Williams able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. To the sideline and incomplete.
And you can tell just by looking at him that this offense is a frustrated unit. Things are really unraveling here, and as a head coach, time to earn your paycheck. You've got to find a way to keep it together as that brings up another 4th down.
Here's Tressway now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fair catch signal for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line.
The Niners offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
96 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
He's turning in a pretty impressive performance running the football, and a big reason why they have this nice lead.
And in days gone by, we would clip this out and put it up on the refrigerator, wouldn't we? Clip out the box score. Nowadays, not too many newspapers out there. Maybe you screenshot it online.
Back to the ground on first. It's McCaffrey. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
2nd and 9.
They'll give it up to McCaffrey. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. 1 yard and now no yards. Have them looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
And when the defense wins and gives up no yardage on a running play, that's something they can build on and carry themselves forward throughout the game.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Back to throw, Purdy.
And that were not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. Back now here in Santa Clara. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Here comes the 49ers punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And you can't do it much better than that. This ball kicks out of bounds at the 4-yard line.
Now we get another look at Washington on offense. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest. Throwing now is Daniels.
And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
The offense on 3rd down, it's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Now Daniels going to keep it.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 20. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
On third down, the defense decided to blitz. A very good job of recognizing it, stepping away from the pressure, and finding open space to scramble and pick up a first down.
Back to throw now on first down. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the fourth quarter here. You've held the team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
They'll go up the middle with White. And they'll get to him quickly here as he'll get a yard, just a yard to the 22.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
3rd and 8. Back to throw. Daniels. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to have a Commander's first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender, but the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's 2nd and 2.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And a fast footwork by White. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45.
Gain of 6.
6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Boy, and now they can't even get a play off.
Game, offense.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
Still first down.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15.
Daniels looking to throw. Got his man, and that's the rookie 4th-round pick.
Daniels pass. Complete to Jalen Lane. A 9-yard pickup. It's 2nd and 6 at the 49ers' 41-yard line.
From the 41, here's a 2nd down and 6. To throw is Daniels.
Open man is Noah Brown. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 26. The Washington passing game dialed in now. It's a first down. Now a give up the middle. This is White.
What a great effort there. He's going to get this inside the 15, and they'll spot it at the 13-yard line. Nice run. 42 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
1st and 10 at the 13-yard line.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
Operating from the gun, Daniels.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Daniels from the gun on 3rd down. And he's in. Touchdown, Commanders. Jaden Daniels taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Commanders are able to cut into that deficit. Not the first time on this drive we saw him take matters into his own hands, and this time he finishes things off with a touchdown run.
You're not going to be happy with me, but I think he took matters into his own feet, didn't he?
Oh, Davis from the top rope. I like it. Now the extra point try forthcoming. And that'll cut the lead down now to 18. That one was an extended drive, 14 plays all told. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Niners offense and Christian McCaffrey ready to go once more. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive.
Well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time left here in the 4th quarter, Charles, but you got the football, you're up 3 scores. They have to be feeling really good about where they're at.
I love your observation skills, partner, because I think you saw them charge onto the field fired up about another chance to get into the end zone. Looks to me like this group is ready to crush any hope left on the opposing sideline, and they want to do it with some gusto, too.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here.
Purdy going to give it to Garendo.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they are powering through, and they're controlling this game.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers. This offensive line starting to win up front. You win that battle in the trenches, you can kind of wear them down here late.
So you bring in the second part to that equation, and that's the big running back, the big bruiser, who can get more than what's blocked and break a few extra tackles and gain yardage.
Here's Garendo on first down.
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
This is caught. It's Kirk.
And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 26.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line.
They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, It's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last two plays. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down fourth quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it out, and we've got them now.
And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
The first carry here for Jordan James.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop. On 3rd down, it's Guendo.
And he's going to be a yard short. Needed 4, but got 3.
When a good play is made on defense, oftentimes leverage is the key to everything. Defensive line not getting turned, all the other guys making sure they're in the right spot, and on that play, they were able to stop them short of a first down.
Eddie Pinheiro on now.
From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here.
This is up and good from Pinheiro.
And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so that you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
After the field goal, on to kick it away is Pinheiro.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Here comes the Commanders' offense back onto the field.
Looking to put a drive together. Throwing to start the drive. Daniels toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And down he goes. The 49ers get there.
That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
How to approach this. 3rd down and 16 yards to go.
That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Partner, he sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
And incomplete on the deep ball. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Niners take over in terrific field position. The 49ers offense making its way back out there. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point.
handoff running right, Guerrero.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
Another try for Guerrero.
And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
They'll try and pick it up by running the action to the right. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Brock Purdy taking it in from the 20.
And the 49ers up the lead to 4 scores now here in this 4th quarter.
Well, partner, when a team's up this big, this late in the game, I always wonder what's their motivation, because if it's me, I'm thinking about pulling on the reins a little bit. But for them, I don't think it's in their DNA. It's not in their head coach's makeup at all. I think his opinion is, you stop us, we're not supposed to pull back ourselves.
Pinheiro now to add the extra point. And that'll increase their lead to 28. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And to cap it off, a touchdown run of 20 yards. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off.
And that final kickoff concludes the ball game, partner. And one side, a really nice win in this one. They were good on offense and on defense.
And I'm guessing in the other locker room, partner, the head coach is just telling his team, hey, we didn't play well enough to keep it close enough where that one possession down the stretch might have given us an opportunity to win the game.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The 49ers get the win here at home as we say so long from Santa Clara.